Your first job in the legal profession is not just about your first paycheck or your first salary. It's about laying the proper foundations that will help you build a solid career in the future. Today, we are discussing 6 critical reasons why your first employment as a lawyer fundamentally shapes your career. So let's get into it. Number one reason is because your first employment is likely to shape your view of the legal profession. Your first cases, your first principal, your first firm, they are all like the first colors on the canvas of the picture of the career that you are painting. And these colors can determine what the beauty of that picture is going to look like. Your first job has the potential to influence how you see the profession, whether you see it as noble or ignoble, whether you see it as one that is valuable or invaluable. And I can illustrate this by telling you a story I'm very familiar with. I know a young lawyer here who started his profession, who started his professional journey with a principal in a very small firm. It's not a very big firm, but the man practiced, the senior practiced with integrity, with forthrightness, and with diligence. And so this young lawyer understood right from the beginning that for him to excel in the profession, he needs to imbibe these cultures, he needs to be diligent, he needs to be honest with his clients, and he needs to give the very best that he has to each and every case that he handles. These are the qualities and the values that he picked up while he was working in the first law firm that he worked in. Despite the fact that this law firm was a small law firm, he was able to pick up the virtues of hard work, of diligence, of client communication, and that has helped him to build a solid career afterwards. Now, imagine if you had started in a different firm where those cultures were not valued. He would think that that is how the legal profession was. If you had started in a law firm that relied on connections and relied on knowing people to get things done, he would assume that that's how things ought to be done all the time. But when you start in a firm that exemplifies the right values and you inculcate those values, it begins to give you a platform and a step ahead to build a solid legal career. So, number one reason why it matters where you start your journey is because it will shape your view of the legal profession. Now, to the number two reason why it is important when you start your legal journey is because it will affect your view of the bar, of bar politics, and bar participation. You should understand that the bar is the collective heartbeat of the legal profession. Everything about the legal profession revolves around the bar. Your first firm's attitude or your first principal's attitude to the bar activities and to bar events and to the bar itself is going to affect how your journey is. Take, for example, someone that started his journey in the law firm of someone that was a former NBA chairman. It is likely that in such a firm, the principal will encourage them to participate in bar events and bar activities. And through those participation, he's going to engage and begin to meet people, grow his networks, begin to have new friends, showcase his abilities, and begin to connect with different people. Through those kinds of opportunities, he can attend the bar conferences and become well known, which can be a pedestal for him to platform his career in later years. So, this lawyer that I'm talking about, who is working with the NBA chairman, is quickly going to have the right kinds of networks, is going to have the right kind of exposure that will help him to build a career in future. But for someone that started their career in a law firm that probably doesn't value bar activities and bar participation, it's possible that that person is going to be starting with a handicap because when they want to do anything in the legal profession and they need the bar will not recognize them or know them. The truth is, there's nothing you can become in the legal profession without the NBA. Whether you want to become a senior advocate, you want to become a judge, or any other thing, you are going to need reference to the NBA. So if you start in your career in a law firm that encourages bar participation, you already have an advantage and you have a leg in. So that's the second reason why where you start really matters. Number three reason why where you start your legal practice is very important is because it will affect how you view the rules of professional conduct and how you see legal ethics. It is not unusual that when you start your career in a law firm that values and respects the rules of professional conduct, you will build a career that values and respects the rules of professional conduct. And I can draw an example from the very popular show How to Get Away with Murder. The main character there, Annalise Keaton, is known for bending the rules, and you'll see from the show that most of the people that joined her also learned how to bend the rules and to cross the lines in their experience in their legal careers. This is something that just comes because once you're in such an environment, You begin to see the rules more like guidelines and not really as rules that ought to be followed and ought to be obeyed. Depending on the law firm that you are, you would quickly learn that the rules of professional conduct, which seem so clear when you are in law school, are not as easy and as clear as they seem. And it's the law firm that you are in, or the place where you start your employment, that will help shape how you begin to interact with these rules so that you don't end up breaching the rules and breaking the law and finding yourself in a difficult position. So another reason why where you start your career is important is because it will affect your attitude towards the rules of professional conduct. Number four reason why it's important where you start your legal journey is because it will shape your practice areas and the skills that you develop in your early years. Now, imagine if you start your career in a corporate commercial law firm where most of the things that you do, your mergers and acquisitions, drafting of contracts, attending meetings, taking minutes, those skills will be quickly developed in such an environment. But if you start your career in a litigation law firm, you're likely to develop your advocacy skills and your public speaking skills more quickly. Now, chances are that when you want to branch out on your own or you want to to zone in into your career, you're going to go in the areas that you have developed strength and competence. So it's important that where you start your career aligns with who you are because it is in the first years that you begin to discover what kind of lawyer that you want to be. You will not know whether you can thrive as an advocate or a solicitor or as a litigation lawyer, a corporate commercial lawyer, if you don't have the experience of these kind of things. It will be foolhardy for you to just assume straight out of law school that you are not interested in litigation when you have not even tried your hands at it. You might actually be really good at it and you might have the temperament and the skills to excel at it. And that is what starting your legal journey, that is what it offers you. When you start your legal journey in a place that allows you to express and to find yourself, you tend to be able to specialize and develop your skill and rise to the top early so that you can peak early and maintain it and enjoy it for a long time. So another reason why it's important where you start your legal career is that it can affect your choice in specialization and where you decide to go to in your career. Number five reason, and this is a very important reason, why where you start your career matters is because where you start your career can affect your work-life balance and can have an effect on your romantic ambitions. Truly, as we have seen from movies like Rainmaker and so many other John Grisham movies and books and some of the legal series that we watch, the legal profession can be very, very demanding. So if you find yourself in an environment or in a law firm or in an establishment that doesn't set boundaries for personal time and that doesn't take into consideration your mental health, your physical health, and well being, you might end up spending all your time being at the office to the neglect of other areas of your life. So, where you start your career is very important. You don't want to end up in a toxic place. You don't want to end up in an environment that doesn't foster your all round development so that you can be the best of who you want to be. Indeed, it is obvious that well rested lawyers and lawyers that have a good balance and a good mix are better lawyers than those that have been overworked and overtrained. Number six reason why it matters where you start your legal career is because it will affect your income. It really matters where you start your legal career because your income is going to determine your general outlook on life and on the profession. So if you start your career in a place where you are being paid well, when you begin to grow your own practice, you have a very healthy self-esteem, you have a very healthy image of who you are, and you are probably able to charge your clients better, look better, dress better, live better, and be able to command better fees than someone who has started their career in a low-paying job where they have to scrape by and they have no savings, no investments. They can't even invest in themselves to develop their skills. So where you start your career really matters, especially because of the income and the remuneration. Another reason why income is important is because it might determine how quick you are able to meet other career and personal goals. So for example, if you desire to get married at a certain age as a male lawyer, your starting law firm might affect the possibility of that happening at the right time. So you want to consider how it affects your income. Also, there are certain law firms that don't allow you to do your practice, your private practice as a legal practitioner, while some would even encourage and offer their firm resources for you to do that. Where you're able to do your private practice, you have a better chance of rising and having a better income than someone who might not be able to do that, especially if they are not being paid well in their current employment. So, in choosing your first law firm, choose wisely and remember that your first job is not just about your paycheck, it's about laying the right foundations for you to have a good career. I'm Sile Obasa, and if you found this helpful, please let me know your thoughts.